I was just doing some daily research, and I came across a post from an influencer upset about the speed of the internet on their very last cruise. And as I delved, is that a word? As I've delved into the comments of that post, it was pretty enlightening. It really kind of opened a Pandora's box, as it were, in my brain. And the burning question that fell out of that box is, are influencers ruining cruising, ruining cruises? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to La Lido Loca. I am your host, Tony. I don't know what we would call today's show. I guess it's going to be just a review of a complaint, story time type deal. But it really hits home because I want to talk a little bit about influencers and content creation and whether those activities are hurting or helping cruising. First, let's look at the complaint. This complaint was lodged with Carnival brand ambassador John Heald on his public Facebook page, and he shared the message with all of us. Interestingly, lately, over the last few days, there have been several posts on John Heald's Facebook page about YouTubers and influencers and people outside of corporate Carnival talking about Carnival, and it doesn't seem like they like it too much, which is interesting because I feel like most content creators that I know, most influencers that I know actually give John Heald and Carnival a fairly fair shake, but maybe they're tired of that. I don't know. But interestingly, if you go look at John Heald's Facebook page, there's been a series of posts about whether or not influencers have any value, and seemingly when you post something that could elicit a negative response, well, the negative responses come, and this complaint was no different. But I think it's a valid thing to talk about. The complaint is this, the message: hey, I was on the Panorama this past February. I am a Gen Z cruiser who needs high-speed internet to be able to work even when I am cruising. I am an influencer on various social media platforms with 100,000 subscribers. Your ship's download speeds of around 2 megabits per second. For some people that may be sufficient, but for my purposes, it was less than adequate. When will Carnival bring themselves to cater for us and provide internet that will allow us who have to work? The accusation has been levied sometimes that these messages are not real, that they are crafted, that they are there just to bring out a point or just to, I don't know what. But if this is a legit message, it reeks with a level of entitlement that is almost hard to stomach. When will you cater to us? Honestly, are people talking like that? Look, certainly I don't know every content creator out there, every influencer out there, but I have had the opportunity to meet a lot of people that do create content, that do social media, that kind of thing. And this attitude that you hear in this message, I would say it's uncommon. When you see it as a content creator, you're immediately taken aback by this type of attitude. I say it's uncommon, but it's not completely unrealistic. I have met a few people that are like this, but I really have to question if the person who posted this comment is really an influencer. If so, they are like probably one of the most unsavvy influencers out there. The crux of the complaint is a simple one. Hey, I need the internet for work. The internet seems kind of slow on your cruise ships. Is there any update as to what Carnival is doing about it? That's the information that the complainer is trying to solicit. And that is a complaint that is valid not only for people that do social media, not only for people that are content creators, not only for people that are influencers, but that's true for a lot of other people. That's true for people who like to teach class online, or people who have to check their email, or people who run a small business where they have to stay connected at home. We live in a more and more connected world, and the idea that you can go on vacation and not have reliable internet is becoming less and less true. And so it's a conversation that continues to well up in the cruising space. Hey, has the technology evolved in a way where we can can get faster internet? And if so, when will those faster internet offerings be coming to your cruise, offerings, that kind of thing. So it's a valid question, and we have that debate quite often, whether or not internet is important on cruise ships. And I think it's a debate and a conversation that we should continue to have. But please, why would you frame it this way? And like I said, whenever you lay something on the line like this that is salacious, it does open up the opportunity for people who want to be negative about said thing. And that's certainly the case with John Heald's post. I think there's over 1,000 comments out there, a variety of comments, pro-influencer, really negative against the influencer. An interesting read nonetheless to get a feeling of how people feel about content creation. So interesting to say the least, but we won't delve into those comments. And let me quickly address the shaggy dog in the room. I know somebody out there will comment, Tony, what's up with your hair today? Why do you look so unkempt? Well, it's haircut day. And on haircut day, I don't ever gel up my hair because I don't want it to be a hassle to cut my hair. That's probably more information than you need. But look, simple question that you can answer with the like button. Do you think I should get a haircut and a beard trim? If so, hit the like button right now. I'm going to get it cut and shaved either way. But yeah, are you subscribed? Subscribe for Tony's hair cutting tips. My tip is pay somebody to do it for you. And so all of this conversation has allowed me to codify my thoughts into two broad topics. The first broad topic is there value in creating content around cruising? Is it helpful or is it hurtful? And then the second broad topic I want to talk about is should influencers act like the person that made this complaint? Let's talk about the first one. Do I find that there is value in cruising content? Is there value in people going onto cruise ships, learning about the cruising industry and sharing that information out with others? I would certainly say yes. I have benefited greatly from other people going on cruises and sharing their experience. I remember the first cruise I went on, I was completely clueless about cruising, and I found YouTube to be a wonderful resource where I could go and learn about cruising, and I learned so much. And while I understand some people that go on cruise ships, they don't reference the internet, they don't reference YouTube before they go cruising, I don't think the fact that that information is out there helping the people that need to be helped, I don't think that that is a deterrent for cruising. And if we want to be real, kind of business-minded about it, for the most part, cruise lines love the fact that people are for free most of the time going out there and highlighting their cruise ship, showing off the hardware, showing the pluses and the minuses. I think at the end of the day, the cruise line would also raise their hand and say, look, the publicity and the free advertisement we get from people creating content around cruising is good for the cruise business. I know from personal experience that people have cruised on Royal Caribbean, Holland America, Norwegian Cruise Line. I know that they've cruised on all of those lines specifically because Jenny and I have gone on a cruise, or I have gone on a cruise. And so at the end of the day, I would be hard pressed to say that the fact that we're out there showing cruise ships and sharing cruise information is hurtful to the cruise business. But that brings us to the second part of the conversation. Is the attitude of the influencer harmful to cruising? And on that, I would say yes. I've seen some of this stuff play out in real life. I don't think I've ever referred to myself as an influencer. Have I certainly influenced people? Have I certainly educated people? Have I certainly motivated people? All of that's probably true, but it's not for me to lay the moniker of influencer on myself. I make entertaining and educational videos. To me, I feel like I am a performer and an educator and a creator. This is the way that I look at what I am doing. I feel super lucky, super blessed that I can use the skill set that I have to, educate and entertain and, be able to make a living at it and get to travel all over the place. So those are the things that motivate me. The idea of being an influencer and then therefore getting something because I am an influencer, not really where I'm at in this thing. And look, I'll just be straight up transparent. If you're ever with me and I say something like, don't you know who I am and what I do? You have license to punch me right in the mouth. I am that confident that you would never hear me say that I'm willing to put my jaw on the line for it. If you're an influencer out there saying, hey, by the way, I'm an influencer, I need this for free. Oh, by the way, I am an influencer, don't you know who I am? If you're an influencer and that's your take, you may not be the influencer that you think you are. Honestly, I've gone on a few of these adventures where I've, been around the press junket, that kind of thing, where I've met people that I don't know from anybody that are boldly standing up saying, I would like this for free and I would like that for free because this is what I need because I'm an maybe I'm just wired in a different way, but I would feel so out of sorts making that approach. Now, certainly if I'm working with a brand, if I'm partnering with a cruise line and there is a conversation on the front end, what do you want me to do for you? And therefore what I need you to do for me so that we can have this partnership and those kind of agreements are worked out in the beginning. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different conversation. But just to go somewhere uninvited and say, look, I'm an influencer, hence, therefore, and ergo, give me this. It seems a bit crazy. And unfortunately, I think this is the type of attitude that really does turn people off when it comes to content creators. And I think there is a huge misconception that every content creator, influencer is out there on cruise ships carrying around huge camera rigs, trying to film people that don't want to be filmed, trying to disrupt what's going on the cruise ship. But in reality, that's just not true. Most of the content creators that I have some familiarity with, they're not using big camera rigs to film. My buddy Don from Don's Family Vacation films with a cell phone. Emma Cruises films with a cell phone. Jay from the Ship Life films with a cell phone. If you watched any of those vlogs that I filmed last month in Europe, the majority of those vlogs were filmed with a cell phone. And then beyond the cell phone, you see a lot of people using GoPros or Insta360s. Those are all very small cameras. Occasionally on a cruise ship, you'll see someone with a big camera rig. But for the most part, content creators, when they're filming themselves, filming cruise ships, really no different than the average person filming their home videos. So with all that said, I don't think the act of content creation, I don't think the act of going on board to capture images of cruise ships and cruising, I don't think that is detrimental to cruising, but I do think that this look at me, don't you know who I am, I need some free stuff attitude is detrimental to cruising. I think it's going to turn off the cruise brands from actually wanting to work with people and help people in that content creation process. And I think it's going to turn off fellow cruisers because you got somebody out there with that look at me thing going on, and I think it's unseemly. So my appeal is twofold. First, to content creators and influencers. If that's what you're trying to be, if that's what you want your profession to be, then please act professionally, work well with brands, be kind to other people that you're cruising with. And then secondly, to those out there that have a negative opinion about content creators because of people like the one that posted there, please allow yourself to consider that not everybody is like that. Please do not let the one bad apple spoil the batch. It's an interesting conversation. I'll kick it over to you with this caveat. If you're going to comment negatively in the comments, please don't be too descriptive of the creator that you're talking about, and please don't name the creator. My comments are not to slam other people that are trying to get things done, but I would love to hear in some general statements what you think about content creation. Do you find value in it? Do you think it's harmful to cruising? Leave a comment below. This is Tony for La Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.